This Friday isn't just another day on the calendar. It is not just another sunrise, another passing of time. This Friday will be a point in your life that demands something from you. It will not ask politely. It will not wait until you are ready. It will arrive with force, and the only question will be, will you stand or will you break? Too many people live their lives hoping the great challenges will never come. They hide behind comfort, behind distractions, behind excuses. But the truth is, the turning point always comes. And this Friday, you must be prepared. You cannot treat it like every other day. You cannot think that the world will stay still while you remain the same. There will be a moment, maybe in the silence of the morning, and you are not the mind, and maybe in the middle of your daily routine, when you will feel the tremor. It could be a decision you must make. It could be a truth you can no longer ignore. It could be the breaking apart of something you thought would last forever. And when that moment comes, it will not be the strength of your body that determines the outcome. It will be the strength of your mind, the strength of your inner world. Think about how most people live. They are always waiting for the right time to change. They say, I will start when things calm down, when I feel ready, when I have more certainty. But life does not wait for their permission. And this Friday will not wait for yours. It will demand action. It will demand clarity. It will demand courage. Preparation is not about knowing exactly what will happen. It is about knowing exactly who you will be when it happens. If you wait until the moment arrives to decide how to respond, you are already too late. Every choice you have made up until now has been preparing you for this Friday, whether you realized it or not. Every moment you resisted discomfort. Every time you turned away from growth, you weakened your ability to stand now. Every time you faced what you feared, every time you kept moving forward when it was hard, you built the foundation you will need. Do not mistake comfort for safety. Many people are comfortable right now, but that comfort will be shattered when the ground shakes. True safety comes from knowing you can adapt, that no matter what breaks around you, you will not break inside. You must ask yourself, have I been training my mind, my discipline, my focus? Have I been building the ability to remain clear and calm when everything changes? This Friday is a test, but not in the way you think. It is not a test of luck. It is a test of readiness. It will expose what you have neglected. It will reveal the cracks in your character. It will show you whether you have been living with purpose or just drifting. And if it reveals weakness, do not despair, because that weakness is the very place where you can grow stronger. But you cannot hide from it. The turning point is always uncomfortable. It feels like loss before it feels like growth. That is why so many avoid it. They cannot endure the pain that comes before the transformation. But if you step into this Friday ready to face whatever comes, you will leave it with more strength, more clarity, and more control over your life than you have ever had before. You must be willing to let the old parts of you collapse so that the stronger parts can rise. The earth trembling is not the enemy. It is the signal. It is the sign that the old ground beneath you is no longer enough. It is telling you to move, to rise, to change. If you cling to the old ground, you will fall with it. If you step forward with courage, you will find the new ground before anyone else. Ask yourself right now, what will I do when this Friday comes? Will I freeze? Will I run? Or will I step forward into the shaking with the calm and certainty of someone who knows this is their moment? Every great life changes at a point like this, and most miss it because they were looking for comfort instead of challenge. You do not have to be fearless. You do not have to be perfect. You only have to decide that when the moment comes, you will not turn away. You will face it. You will grow from it. And when the ground stops shaking, you will be standing taller than before. Do not waste the days between now and Friday. Use them to sharpen your mind, to cut away distractions, to remind yourself of who you are becoming. Prepare yourself not with fear, but with certainty. The moment will come. The reckoning will come. And when it does, you will be ready not because you guessed what would happen, but because you built yourself into the kind of person who can face anything. This Friday will come only once. Treat it as if everything depends on it, because it does. And if you rise to meet it, you will never be the same again. This Friday will test something deeper than your strength or your skill. It will test whether you are truly ready on the inside. Because when the ground moves, when the world shifts, the people who survive are not always the strongest. They are the ones who are ready within. You can prepare your home, your plans, your surroundings. But if your inner state is weak, it will all fall apart the moment chaos begins. Inner readiness is not about knowing every detail of what is coming. It is about having the ability to face the unknown without falling apart. It is about having discipline when others panic, clarity when others are confused, focus when others are distracted. This Friday will be the moment when the difference between being ready and being unprepared will be obvious to everyone, but most importantly, to yourself. Most people think preparation is only physical. They store resources, they arrange their schedule, they think through possible outcomes. But that is only the surface. The real preparation happens in the mind, because when fear rises, logic fades. When uncertainty hits, old habits take control. And if those habits are weak, they will betray you. Ask yourself now, if everything changes this Friday, will I be able to think clearly? Will I be able to act with purpose? Will I be able to lead myself instead of being led by fear? This is the preparation that matters. It is the preparation no one can see. You build inner readiness in the smallest moments of your life. Every time you keep your word to yourself, you train your mind to trust you. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you sharpen your focus. Every time you face discomfort willingly, you teach yourself that you can handle it. And when this Friday arrives, all those small choices will decide whether you stand or collapse. There will be no warning siren. No one will tell you, now is the time to be strong. The test will come disguised as a normal moment, and then it will shift. And when it does, you will not have time to search for courage. You will only have the courage you have already built. This Friday is not about avoiding fear. It is about mastering it. Fear will come. It always does. But fear is not the enemy. Losing control to fear is the enemy. Inner readiness is what keeps fear in its place. It allows you to see clearly even when your heart is racing. It allows you to act with intention instead of reacting with panic. Understand this the moment the earth trembles. The unprepared will look outward for stability. They will seek someone else to tell them what to do. The prepared will look inward. They will already know their next step. This is the difference between those who survive and grow and those who simply survive. Inner readiness also means being unattached to the illusion of control. This Friday, something will happen that you cannot predict. And if you depend on everything going according to your plan, you will break when the plan fails. The ready mind adapts instantly. It does not waste time wishing things were different. It acts with what is real. Some will wait until Friday to decide how they feel about it. But by then, it will be too late. You must decide now. You must decide that no matter what shakes, no matter what crumbles, you will remain steady. That decision is your anchor. It will keep you from being pulled under when the waves hit. Do not mistake inner readiness for arrogance. It is not thinking you are untouchable. It is knowing that you are adaptable. It is knowing that you can think clearly, stay calm, and act effectively even when nothing is certain. And that kind of readiness only comes from practice, from testing yourself before life tests you, from creating pressure in your own training so that the pressure of reality does not crush you. This Friday will strip away the illusions. It will reveal whether your calm is real or just a mask. It will reveal whether your discipline is strong or just a routine. It will reveal whether you have built yourself into someone who can face the storm or whether you have only hoped the storm would never come. And here is the truth You can still prepare. You have time, but not much. Every hour between now and Friday is a chance to sharpen your mind, to quiet your distractions, to strengthen your focus. You do not need to know exactly what will happen. You only need to know exactly who you will be when it happens. The trembling of the earth is coming. It will expose the hollow confidence of those who have only been pretending. It will elevate those who have been silently building themselves for this very moment. Which one will you be? That is the choice you must make now, not on Friday, not when it's too late. You prepare your surroundings so they can protect you. You prepare your body so it can carry you. But you prepare your mind so nothing can destroy you. This Friday, the only unshakable ground will be the ground you have built within yourself. And if you have not built it, the first tremor will take it from you. So be ready, not in words, not in intentions, but in reality. Build the mind that can face the storm. Build the calm that can stand in the chaos. Build it now, because when Friday comes, there will be no time left. The earth will tremble and you will either rise above it or be buried beneath it. This Friday will not arrive without a signal. Life always gives signs before the ground shifts. The problem is most people are too distracted to notice them. They are buried in their routines, drowning in noise, and when the tremor finally comes, they call it sudden. But nothing truly comes without warning. This Friday will carry clues, whispers of change, and if you can recognize them, you will be ready while others are still blind. You must understand that these signs are not always loud. They do not always come as a scream. Sometimes they come as a quiet discomfort you cannot explain, a tension in the air, a moment when something feels different, but you cannot name it. This is how life speaks to you before it tests you. But you cannot hear it if you are constantly filling your mind with noise. This Friday, the warning signs will be there. They might appear in the way people act around you, in the sudden shift of a conversation, in an opportunity that appears but feels risky. They might be hidden in the silence before the chaos. And if you have trained yourself to see them, you will not be caught off guard. Recognizing early warnings is not about fear, it is about awareness. Awareness is your shield. It is what allows you to act before the danger becomes unavoidable. The unprepared will say, "No one could have known." The prepared will say, "I saw it coming and I was ready." To be ready this Friday, you must slow down enough to observe. Look beyond the surface. Notice the patterns in your own behavior and in the people around you. Notice what feels unstable. Notice the things you have been ignoring because they seem small. Those small cracks become the breaks when the ground starts moving. Too many people live reactively. They only respond when the impact has already hit. But this Friday will punish reactivity. It will reward those who move before the world forces them to. If you are waiting for a clear, undeniable sign, you have already lost. The real advantage comes from acting on the small signs that others dismiss. Self-growth begins the moment you choose awareness over comfort. Awareness means facing what you do not want to see. It means admitting when something is changing, even if you wish it wasn't. The earlier you see it, the more power you have to face it. And this Friday, that power will make the difference between control and chaos. Think of it like a storm. The untrained mind ignores the wind until the roof is gone. The trained mind notices the shift in the air, the change in the clouds, and prepares before the rain falls. The same is true for this Friday. The signs will be there for those willing to look, but looking is not enough. You must also be willing to act. Awareness without action is just observation. If you see the ground start to shift but you stand still, the knowledge will not save you. Recognizing early warnings means having the discipline to change your position, your approach, or your mindset before you are forced to. Ask yourself now, what have I been ignoring? What truth have I been avoiding? Because facing it means I will have to change. This Friday will not allow you to hide from those truths any longer. It will bring them to the surface, and you will either confront them on your terms or on the terms of the moment. The warning signs are not only outside of you, they are inside you. They come as doubt, as frustration, as that quiet voice telling you something in your life is not right. Most people silence that voice because it is inconvenient. But this Friday, silencing it will cost you. Listening to it will save you. You must train your awareness every day, not just on the day of the reckoning. Notice when you are triggered. Notice when you hesitate. Notice when you feel the urge to avoid something. These are all signs. They are telling you where to look, where the weak points are, where the change is coming from. When this Friday arrives, it will be too late to start practicing awareness. You must start now. Pay attention to the details others overlook. Pay attention to the energy in the room. Pay attention to your own state of mind. These small observations will give you an advantage so great it will feel like you saw the future, because in a way you did. This Friday will not be the end for everyone. For some, it will be the beginning. The difference will be in whether they recognize the signs early enough to position themselves for growth instead of destruction. Awareness turns fear into preparation. It turns surprise into strategy. Do not wait for the tremor to throw you off balance. Find the tremor before it comes. See the shift before it is obvious. That is the way you will face this Friday, not as a victim of change, but as the one who saw it coming and was ready to meet it. The early warnings are already here. The question is, are you paying attention? When this Friday arrives, the ones who will endure are not the ones who shout the loudest, move the fastest, or fight the hardest. It will be the ones who remain still inside, the ones who, in the middle of the chaos, carry a mind that does not shake. Strength through stillness is not weakness. It is the highest form of power. Most people believe that when the world starts trembling, the right response is to rush, to push, to force action. But the more you react in panic, the more mistakes you make, the more power you give away. This Friday will test whether you can remain steady while everything around you changes. It will show you whether you are a prisoner of your emotions or the master of them. Stillness does not mean doing nothing. It means acting from clarity instead of fear. It means breathing when others are gasping. It means seeing the whole picture while others see only fragments. In the middle of the storm, the calm mind becomes the leader. And this Friday, the calm mind will survive while the restless one burns itself out. You have seen it before. People collapse not because they lack ability, but because they lose their center. One event, one piece of bad news, one unexpected change, and they fall apart. That is because they have built their lives on unstable ground. They never trained themselves to be unmoved when life shakes. This Friday will not give you time to develop that stillness. You must bring it with you. Stillness is a choice, but it is a choice that must be practiced. You cannot expect to be calm in chaos if you have never practiced being calm in discomfort. If every small inconvenience in your life causes frustration, how will you hold steady when the ground itself moves? This Friday will be that test, and your results will depend entirely on the work you have done before it comes. Understand this stillness is not passive. It is control. It is holding your position while others lose theirs. It is making moves from strength instead of desperation. A still mind can see opportunities that a frantic mind will never notice. When fear takes over, vision disappears. But in stillness, your sight is sharp. You see where to step next. You see what matters and what does not. This Friday, the noise will be loud. People will be rushing, making fast decisions, reacting without thought. And if you are not careful, their panic will pull you into their chaos. You must be able to stand in the middle of it and not absorb it. That is what stillness is, holding your ground in the middle of someone else's storm. It is easy to be calm when nothing is happening. The real test is whether you can be calm when everything is happening at once, when the news hits, when the plans fail, when the people around you start to break. In those moments, stillness is not just strength, it is survival. This Friday, you must not let the tremor control you. Let others run, let others shout. You will breathe, you will think, you will move only when it is time to move. This discipline will keep you from making the mistakes that panic always creates. This discipline will keep you alive in situations where speed without thought would destroy you. Stillness comes from preparation. It comes from knowing that whatever happens, you will adapt. It comes from trusting yourself completely because you have faced discomfort before and learned that it could not destroy you. If you avoid discomfort now, you will pay for it this Friday. But if you have been training your mind to stay centered, you will face the trembling earth as if it were only another step in your path. Ask yourself, can I stand still when the pressure builds? Can I wait without fear when I do not yet have the answer? Can I act without rushing when everyone else is desperate? These questions are not just ideas. They are the difference between control and collapse. When you are still, you are not paralyzed. You are conserving power. You are watching. You are choosing the moment to act. And when you do act, your moves are precise, powerful, and decisive. This is why stillness is the highest form of strength. It ensures that every action counts. On Friday, the trembling will reveal who has this power and who does not. The ones without it will be swept away by the first wave. The ones with it will stand tall through all of them. That is the truth. Stillness must be trained now. Between this moment and Friday, create space in your life where you can be uncomfortable without reacting. Sit in the urge to rush and do not obey it. Stand in the pull of distraction and do not follow it. The more you practice this, the more natural it will feel when the real test comes. Because when Friday arrives, the ground will move and everything you thought was secure may begin to break apart. If you let that movement control your mind, you will make decisions that hurt you. But if you hold your center, if you remain still within yourself, the earth can tremble all it wants. You will remain unshaken. And that is how you win. This Friday will bring something most people fear: uncertainty. When the ground shakes and the familiar breaks apart, fear will rise like a shadow over everything. For many, that fear will freeze them, blind them, and control them. But for a few, fear will become fuel. This is the difference between those who grow and those who disappear. Fear itself is not the enemy. Fear is energy. It can crush you or it can drive you. It depends on whether you control it or it controls you. This Friday will make that choice unavoidable. You will either let fear drain your strength, or you will take that same fear and use it to move forward with more force than you ever thought possible. Most people try to avoid fear. They avoid situations that make them uncomfortable, decisions that might go wrong, challenges that could expose their weakness. But in doing so, they also avoid growth. They never build the ability to face what scares them. So when a day like this Friday arrives, they have nothing inside them to handle it. They collapse not because the challenge is too big, but because their courage is too small. The truth is, you will not be fearless this Friday. No one will. But you can be stronger than your fear. You can feel it and still move. You can take the sharp edge of that fear and use it to cut through hesitation. That is how fear becomes fuel. It pushes you where comfort never could. It makes you sharper, faster, and more aware if you choose to use it instead of running from it. You must understand something important. The same fear that makes some people freeze can make others unstoppable. It is the same emotion, the same sensation in the body, but the meaning is different. For the unprepared, fear means danger, loss, and failure. For the prepared, fear means focus, energy, and action. This Friday, you decide which one it will mean for you. If you feel your heartbeat rise this Friday, let it be a signal, not a warning. If your breathing gets faster, let it be a preparation, not a panic. That rush in your body is life telling you that something important is happening, something that matters. You can let it drown you, or you can ride it like a wave and let it carry you forward. Fear is often a sign that you are exactly where you need to be. It appears when you are about to do something that matters, something that could change you. This Friday, when the fear comes, remember, it means you are in the right place. You are facing something that will either make you stronger or leave you weaker. The choice will be yours. Do not waste your energy trying to erase fear. That is impossible. Instead, learn to stand inside it without breaking. Let it sharpen your awareness. Let it strip away distractions. When you are afraid, every sense becomes more alert. You see more. You feel more. You think faster. That is power if you know how to use it. Think about the moments in your life when you grew the most. Were they easy? Were they calm? Or did they come when you were pushed to your edge, when you were afraid you might fail? Growth is always born in pressure. And this Friday, you will feel that pressure. Do not run from it. Step into it. The trembling that is coming will not only be in the earth, it will be inside you. That inner trembling is the body preparing for battle, the mind preparing for change, the soul preparing for transformation. If you misinterpret it as weakness, you will retreat. If you see it as readiness, you will advance. Many will waste Friday trying to calm themselves down. They will fight their fear, resist it, and in the process, exhaust themselves. The ones who use Friday to grow will do the opposite. They will lean into the fear, take its strength, and move with it. That is why they will walk away stronger while others walk away broken. Between now and Friday, do not try to create a life without fear. Instead, train yourself to face it. Put yourself in small challenges. Do things that make you nervous. Speak when you want to stay silent. Push when you want to hold back. Every time you do, you teach yourself that fear is not the end. It is the beginning. Because when Friday comes, there will be no hiding. The fear will come and it will look you in the eye. And in that moment, you must not shrink. You must not step back. You must take that energy, that pulse, that surge, and turn it into movement. That is the choice that will define whether you rise or fall. Fear can chain you or it can free you. This Friday, make it the reason you act with more courage than you ever have before. Let the trembling remind you that you are alive, that you are in the fight, that you are standing at the edge of transformation. Use it, feed on it, turn it into fuel. And when the shaking stops, you will be unrecognizable in the best way possible. This Friday, the most powerful tremor will not be the one beneath your feet. It will be the one inside you. The real reckoning is not about the outside world. It is not about the events, the noise, or the chaos that everyone else will focus on. The real reckoning will happen within your own mind and your own heart, your own truth. And there will be no hiding from it. When the ground outside shakes, you can move to safer ground. But when the ground inside shakes, there is nowhere to run. You must face yourself. That is what this Friday will demand, an unflinching confrontation with who you really are, not who you pretend to be. Most people avoid this kind of inner reckoning their whole lives. They keep themselves busy, distracted, constantly moving, so they never have to sit in silence and ask the hard questions. Who am I when no one is watching? What am I really chasing? What am I afraid to admit? But this Friday will strip away the noise. It will corner you with yourself. And in that moment, you will either meet a stranger or a warrior. This inner earthquake will expose every weakness you have ignored. It will bring to the surface the habits that have been holding you back, the excuses you have been hiding behind, the lies you have been telling yourself to feel safe. It will show you the truth, and the truth will not always be comfortable. But growth never comes from comfort. You must understand this Friday is an invitation, not just a warning. It is an invitation to face the parts of yourself you have been avoiding. The reckoning within is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to remake you. But you cannot be remade if you refuse to face what is broken. Too often, people fight the wrong battle. They try to control the outside while ignoring the storm inside. But the outside is only a reflection of the inside. If your mind is in chaos, your life will be in chaos. If your mind is steady, you can walk through fire without burning. This Friday will prove this to you, whether you are ready or not. When the moment comes, do not run from yourself. Sit in the silence. Listen. Ask the questions you have avoided. What am I holding on to that no longer serves me? What part of me must I let go of to grow? What have I been pretending not to know? These questions are uncomfortable because they point directly to the truth. And truth is the ground you must stand on when everything else shakes. The reckoning within is about responsibility. Not for what happens this Friday, but for how you respond to it. You cannot control every event, but you can control whether you face it as your old self or your new self. You can control whether you face it in denial or in awareness. And that choice will define everything that comes after. This Friday will force you to choose between two paths. One path is familiar. It is the path of excuses, fear, and hesitation. It is the path you have walked many times before. The other path is unknown. It demands courage. It demands that you let go of your old identity and step into something stronger. That is the path of transformation, and you will only take it if you are willing to face the reckoning inside without turning away. Do not mistake this for an easy process, and the inner reckoning will shake you. It will make you question things you thought were certain. It will break attachments you thought you could not live without. But if you stay with it, if you keep going deeper instead of escaping, you will come out on the other side unshakable. Between now and Friday, prepare yourself for this inner confrontation. Practice honesty with yourself. Stop covering the truth with soft lies. Stop distracting yourself when discomfort appears. Every time you avoid yourself, you weaken yourself. Every time you face yourself, you become stronger. On Friday, when the earth trembles, most will think the battle is happening outside. But for you, the battle will be inside. And if you win that battle, the outside will take care of itself. If you lose that battle, it will not matter how much you prepare your surroundings. You will still fall. The reckoning within is not something to fear. It is the greatest opportunity you will ever have to rebuild yourself on a foundation that cannot be broken. When you face yourself fully, no one else can use your weaknesses against you. When you own your truth, no storm can take it from you. This Friday, remember, the world can only shake you if you are already unstable inside. The work you do in your own mind is the true preparation. Stand in front of your fears, face your mistakes, admit your weaknesses, and then decide who you will be when the shaking stops. The outside tremor will pass. The dust will settle. But the change you make inside, that will last forever. And that is why this Friday matters more than you think. It is not just the day the earth trembles. It is the day you decide whether the person who walks forward after it is the same as the one who stood there before it began.